Always be willing to change the way you think. Walk with me now. I should have brought this up a couple weeks ago when I was talking about how the world is always changing and we must always change as well. This might be a way of saying it a different way, but I also wanted to further expand on a lot of the things that I talked about in that video as well. So as I said, the world is constantly going to be changing, and it's up to you whether or not you want to adapt to these changes. One thing I also said, and probably the biggest portion of that video, was me saying a lot of us get stuck in our ways, in a sense. We start to think one way, and we don't like to allow anything else to get into our stream of thought. But this isn't a good way to go about it. We should always be willing to abandon our old ways of thought and adopt the new ones that will work better for us. More often than not, there's some pride attached to the way that we're thinking and the way that we've learned to live our lives and be ourselves. But sometimes these aren't beneficial for us. Sometimes there's other ways of thinking that we have to be okay with switching towards. Don't let your pride get in the way of being able to adapt to new situations. Always be willing to grow, always be willing to learn more, and always be willing to change your stance. Remain fluid in everything that you believe. Realize that the way you think today doesn't have to be the way you think tomorrow. Just because you've learned and compounded so much evidence towards the way you live currently, and you may have experienced a lot of good things, experienced a lot of success from this way of thinking, doesn't mean you have to keep it forever. Think of the way you might have even thought last year about anything. Think of something that you've changed your stance on, or something that you've differed in opinion from, even from the last year. This is going to happen throughout the entirety of our lives. And we always have to be willing to let that change occur, because often we can find ourselves being stubborn when it comes to new ideas and hearing different perspectives of things that we may be already set on. But we have to understand that this is necessary for growth. Being able to switch between certain thoughts or beliefs and adapt our mindsets is only going to be beneficial in the long run. The more hell-bent we are on keeping our initial ways of thinking, it's only going to hold us back. So if you want to be able to grow, be able to change your mindset, be able to change your thought processes, be able to change your way of living. Because as I've said a couple weeks back, the world is always going to be changing, and we're going to have to change as well. So continue to be open towards change and different opinions, and listen to everything. Get every perspective on a certain thought pattern or belief, and then make your own choice as to whether or not you want to follow that path, or maybe remain on your own. Thank you for walking with me.
Didn't plan for you to leave, but I'm glad that it happened. I've been progressing in some ways that I couldn't imagine. I'm sick and tired of niggas saying I shouldn't be rapping. Boy, I can't wait to see they face when they look at me pass them. The memories of what we built took up all of my brain. I could've let those moments kill me and wallow in pain, until I realized that this outcome is part of the game. I gotta be the man, and that's why it's a part of my name. I hope you told